Good evening, Bridget, and good evening, Diamond. Patiently waiting for others to join in. The class kicks off exactly by 7 p.m. I can see Honor, Bridget, and I can see Diamond. Ibiom, good to have you on the call. Let's wait for others to join in. Yeah, Chidima, good to have you on the call also. Welcome. 2 minutes to class. Let's wait for others. Stop aging. I did not get your name. Is that your name? Stop aging. Introduce yourself. Well, there will still be introduction session. But good to have you guys. I'm noting those that joined the call early. I can see Diamond, I can see Bridget, I can see Chidima. And stop aging. I'm not sure I get your name. So please, if you can introduce yourself, stop aging. Okay, Sarah Anthony, I can see you on the call. Welcome everyone. 1 minute to go. 1 minute to go. Oh no, Mercy, good to have you on the call. Welcome. Welcome everyone. Oh, it's 7 p.m. already. Stop aging. Okay, you are Silver. Okay, stop aging is your channel. Okay. Silver. That's a unique name. I love that. Please confirm if I'm audible enough and if my screen is very visible. I'm sharing my screen already. I need to be sure you guys can see my screen. Adequate gesture. Good to have you on the call. Rita. Good to have you on the call. I hope I didn't skip any other person. I'm just trying to give a privilege for others to join in. This would be a very, very intensive session and it will be very short. We should not use more than an hour. But I can promise you that the 1 hour will be the very best session you've ever had. That's a promise. I would just love to advise that you shun off every form of distractions. Chisum, welcome. Good to have you on the call. I would just love to, it's an advice now. You snoozing or losing out on any part or being distracted from the session can cost a whole lot of things, actually. And that's why I'm just so intentional about ensuring that we get the very best from this session. Chisum, good to have you on the call. I'm patiently trying to wait for others. We have 10 persons on the call. While we wait for others, please, if there are any things that will distract you, please try and take them off. Number one. Number two things I would advise is Diamond Ibium, good to have you. Number two thing is try and have your pen and your jotter very, very close by. I know it's a free session, but please, I would love for you to take the very lessons that you can pick from tonight's session. Alabiola Inka, good to have you. Gideon Adwega, good to have you on the call. As we all know, this is a session on how to run Facebook and Instagram ads for your business in 2025, specifically for business owners. Even if you don't have a business, I believe there are one or two things you can pick from tonight's session. You could actually be of value to someone else's business, even if you don't have yours. And how can you? How have I been able to record success for my own business? How have I been able to record success for my own for other businesses? It's a function of what I know, and this is me pouring myself out to you. This is just a pre-master class, which is free, obviously, but it's more like a pre-master class. We usually have paid sessions, but I usually love pouring out myself to others, impacting lives basically before my paid sessions usually would. But that's not the purpose of tonight's class. Basically, I'm just trying to help you understand the reason why we have tonight's class, and I'm trying to just wait for others to join on the call before we move on. We have 11 persons on the call, so I think it's best I move on now. For others, they might join in along the line. Good evening, Gideon. Good evening, Precious. Good to have you on the call. Please, I would like to, like I earlier mentioned, I hope that this session will be the very best that you've ever had since the beginning of the year. And I do hope that it marks the beginning of a turning around for your business, especially. And this is me pointing out myself. It is a free session, but please make the very best out of it. There will still be a question and answer session at the end of this. Now, there will be two different sessions. There will be the theoretical part, there will be the practical part. I'll first of all make you understand what are like the things you have to put in place before running an ads. I know there are a lot of tutorials out there that teaches Facebook adverts, teaches Instagram adverts, and straight off they take you into the dashboard. I believe some of you are even joining this session. You already know how to run ads. You know how to do the ads, but probably, well, you joining this session obviously was for a reason. You want to get the very best out of yourself. You want to make out good results. I've seen numbers of persons come in for my training and they tell me they've been running ads for the past 1, 2, 3 years. They've been running at a loss. It's very, very possible. You can know how to run advert and you are still running at a loss. You can run advert and you are spending 50,000 naira. 50,000 naira is bringing you only 2,000 naira or 3,000 naira. Or you spend 100,000 brings you 50,000 naira. Is that a profit or a loss? It's a complete loss actually. So a lot of person lose or miss out on some preliminary parts of what running advert actually entails before running the ad itself, and that is basically what I want to expose you into. So, like earlier mentioned, make the very best out of this. Note down your questions. I would love to rush the theoretical part to not rushing through by per se. I mean, take it through first, then take questions. Then after my sessions, I take into the practicals. I believe that is very, very clear. So good to have you all on the call. So let's just dive straight into the session. I'm going back to my slide now. Yeah, welcome everyone. My name is Olajide David. And before we proceed, I would love that we actually introduce ourselves and the states we are joining in from. I really love to know which location you are in from. I am David and my location is Ibadan, Nigeria. If you are joining in from UK, let us know. If it's from Katangwa in Lagos or wherever, please let's just know. I just love to meet everyone. I noted already those that joined in early, and I would love that you actually stay true to the very end. Like I promised, there'll be a gift. That's a promise from me. But importantly, make the very best out of the lessons that will be shared in tonight's session, and that's important. And so, please, if you are just joining in, and for those that have joined in earlier, please introduce yourself and your location. Your location, actually, I would love to know where you are joining in from. I am David, and I'm joining in from Ibadan, Nigeria. I can see Precious, I can see Chioma, I can see Chidima, but I don't know everyone's location. I'm just trying to ease you guys into the session. Okay, Chiamaka from Onitsha, Anambra. Precious from Port Harcourt. Well, okay, I'm seeing the Lagosian now. Chioma from Lagos, Chidima from Lagos. Okay, good to have everyone. Amaka from Anambra. Oh, and Amaka, good to have you on the call. Welcome. Gideon from Ibadan. Oh, my brother, my brother in my backyard. Good to have you all. Please let's all introduce ourselves as we all join in the call. I will just move on straight off. I don't want to. I believe you all have different things you can be doing with your time now, and you've devoted your time. Please, importantly, note down your questions. I won't be taking questions till I'm done with this theoretical part. Like I mentioned earlier, for those that are just joining in, this training will be in two phases. There will be the theoretical part and there will be the practical part. Before running advert, there are preliminary things that needs to be taken into consideration. So don't assume you know it all. That is why I just said, please come with an open mind and make the very best out of this. Ask questions. Be better for yourself and especially for your business. So let me take this with full screen. So we Okay, guys, can we confirm? Can we hear me now? I had to stop and join again. I had to leave the studio entirely. Please, can we confirm? Can we please help me confirm? Can we hear me, guys? Oh, okay. So I'll be going ahead to share my screen again, and I hope you guys will be able to pick me from. Please confirm if you can still hear me and if you can see my screen. Okay, thank you. I can see your responses. So I believe you guys can hear me loud and clear now. So can I move on? Please just confirm. Should I proceed? So I would know. I need to ensure you guys are hearing me. Well, okay. God's treasure. Yes, yes. Thank you, Adepoju. Thank you, Chisum. Thank you, Stop Aging. Thank you, Bion. God's treasure. All right. Yes, yes. I believe I can proceed. I think it was because I took down my. I wanted you guys to see my screen fully. That was why I had to take down the video camera. But I think I have to proceed with it. So please, you might just have to change your display to full screen. I mean HD, so you can see things well. Thank you, Amaka. Thank you, Chioma. So I think I can move on now. Can someone remind me where did we hear me up until, or should I just start from the beginning again and rush it through? Let me just take it from the start. So, like I said, this session is for you guys. So, what are you going to gain from tonight's session? One of it is I'll be addressing the biggest challenge that's with running social media ads. A lot of persons are running social media ads. A lot of persons know how to run social media. Let me even start off from there. But they don't know how to make the very best use of it. They run ads and they are running at a loss. They spend 50,000 ad spend, and 50,000 naira brings them nothing. Sometimes brings them just 10,000, 5,000. Basically, return on investment is poor, and that's basically what I want to address and how to help you achieve the best results from this. Also, please eliminate distractions, like I earlier mentioned. And thank you guys so much for staying with me up until now. Sorry for the break in my transmission. Also, you'll be able to. I'll be giving room for question and answer after this very first one. Like I earlier mentioned, there will be practical, there will be theory. This is theoretical part, telling you the foundational things that goes into running ads first. Yeah, thank you, Diamond. Things to put in place before running ads. So basically, that's what this session is about. So I don't really want to waste much of our time. By latest by 8:30, we should be done with this session, with the entire session, both the theory and the practical. So, and I earlier mentioned, if you stay true to the very end, I've noted those that joined in early, and if you actually stay true to the very end, it's a promise from me. I have a gift worth over 100,000 naira to just 10 persons, and I'll be sharing more information on this later on at the end of the class. So please just stay true and follow me. So, like I mentioned, please, I need your undivided attention. I'll go from this point on. Note down your questions. In the case whereby you don't have where to write down your question, you can just drop it in the comment section. I will come back to the comment section to take all questions later on at the end. So please shun off all distraction. If possible, place your phone on do not disturb so you are not being disturbed by anyone. And please note down your question, drop them in the comment section so that you don't lose your train of thought. I'll also answer them immediately after my first session stretch. So the number one pain point when it comes into running adverts, let's talk about the challenges. Obviously, once you know the pain point, once you know a challenge, it's easier for you to find a solution. You need to know where exactly am I even having issues. I'm a business owner, I'm a student, I'm this, I'm that. What's even my biggest issue? And how is my solution, what I'm providing a solution, basically. So what are like the common pain points? Many business owners are facing frustration, especially how to grow online. What can they actually do? A lot of persons are selling. A lot of persons are vendors on your status. You're always seeing them on your WhatsApp status. They post this and post that. But how to scale things up is always their challenge. How can they make the very best for themselves? How can they actually make how can they make sell off all of their products consistently, like in a month, knowing that each revenue that they have been getting, that they are getting at the end of this month is as much as 100, 150, 200, 250, 400, 500. It's always a challenge for business owners. I was also in that shoe. That's why I can relate. You need to understand that running ads is very crucial and it's very beneficial to your business, but you don't know how. Those are like common pain points. And you've also been putting money into ads, you've not been seeing results, you spent a lot of money, but you don't see the returns. Your returns basically do not match your investments. And another thing is the fact that your ads seem to reach people who never buy. You feel more like digital platforms are not worth it. You just feel like adverts is just a scam. I'm not getting the results. I don't know how people are getting their result, and I don't. And it just feels more like a scam to you. That's basically all I'll be addressing for you in tonight's session. So please just follow through. Note down your questions where necessary. Now, the solution is not hard. Let me just tell you that as we start off, your solution basically is not hard. It is hard, but not hard. Don't worry, just follow me through. You understand what I mean. A business owner spends 50,000 naira on ads and he only gets a few inquiries, no sales. I've seen lot of business owners that have actually reached out to me to please guide them through. They tell me their experiences, and I'm like, what's actually the problem? The same problem I'm always noticing amongst each of them, and that's why I'm actually having the session. A brand attracts traffic to their page, but then they struggle to even turn them into buyers. Some persons will tell you they are running adverts, people are coming to their landing page, either their website or even sometimes to their WhatsApp DM, but they are not making sales from those people that are coming in. What's the challenge? And a client's ad click cost so much that profit margin disappears. That's you spend so much. Basically, you spend like 100,000 naira, and the sales you made was probably just 80,000. Where is the sales or where is the profit? So obviously, that's a complete loss. So that's what I'm here to address. So understanding the problem basically is the fact that they actually lacked a clear ad strategy. You don't run advert without a strategy. That is basically where I'm taking you to. That's where my theoretical part will be focused on. You don't run ads without having a strategy. You don't just say, oh, I know how to run Facebook ads, I know how to run Instagram ads. Voila, I've gone inside, I've gone to my dashboard or my ads manager, blah blah blah, set everything up, and you expect that money will start coming in. No, it doesn't work that way. You need a clear ad strategy. I would explain all of this to you so you understand better. Also, you have misaligned target audience. You are targeting the wrong audience entirely. You are targeting people that are not interested in your business, in your product, in your services. Or sometimes it could also be as a result of a poorly designed ads or sales funnel. You don't have a sales funnel that can convert into sales. I've worked on a particular business owner that I actually had to work with. He consulted me first and said, Mr. David, I'm having challenge. A lot of I basically do not get sales. He said he has been running adverts. He has spent as much as 150,000 on ads. Zero sales made. And I was like, can you walk me through your sales funnel? It was more like, what's a sales funnel? Basically, forget all the jargons. I'll be even out anything jargons. Basically, a sales funnel is just like this process you take your potential buyer through before they eventually turn into a buyer. Basically, what are like the process that people have to go through before they eventually part with their money to buy into your product or a service. That's basically like a sales funnel. Forget the jargons and pay attention more to the practicality of this. And sometimes people do not have an optimized budget and bidding. You have a lot of competitors in your probably your niche, and you are spending maybe just 500 naira, 1,000 naira per day. You might not really get the very best with your ads because of your budget based on the industry. Especially if you are working in a real estate company and you want to be spending 1,000 naira per day on ads, you would less likely make anything out of that particular ads, and that's because your bidding is very low as compared to your other competitors. So your other competitors are paying as much as 5,000, 10,000 on their ads. Well, you still understand as we move on. So the solution is not enough me telling you your problem and not actually now providing a solution to you before you eventually run the advert. So please pay attention. The importance of running ads, because you need a strategy to acquire and sell to customer, and it's not Facebook responsibility. You need to understand this. It is not Meta's responsibility to help you sell. We can argue that some you might want to ask me my question, then why do I now pay Zuckerberg to run adverts? Why am I using his platform to run adverts when it's not his responsibility to sell for me? You understand better as we proceed through. You need a strategy basically. And it's not Facebook responsibility. Facebook only has two responsibilities. But number one, they help you find the people that you are looking for, and they help you show your adverts to their faces as much time as possible. That's why you can see an ad on your timeline. You can even see it for the entirety of for an entire 1 month, 1 year, if possible. You can continue seeing an ads and ads and ads and ads. Why is that possible? That's basically what Facebook does for you. Facebook just help you show your advert to as much people. That's those people that you can never reach organically. I can run adverts here and I'm targeting people that in UK, US, Canada, different parts of the world. That's if my services relates to those people. But basically, that's basically what Facebook does for you. You now need strategy to help you convert those people into sales. And basically, my focus of tonight's session will now be more on the strategy. So there's something we call the KLT. Before you can sell anything online, not even online only, before you can sell anything, you need to tick the K, the L, and the T factor. I believe most of you have even heard of this before now, but please understand this practically. I don't want you stacking up theoretical knowledge and not getting a better grasp of what I mean by this. There's the K, there's the L, and there's the T. That means people get to know you, they get to like you first, and they get to trust you before they can buy anything from you. Think of it yourself, things that you probably bought before. What were the things that made you eventually buy into those things? When I bought my smart TV, I never knew the guy from Adam. I just saw an ad pop out. It was at the period where I needed it the most. Now, what made it easier? I would just give you a walkthrough of the story and you would be able to relate from it. Now, I saw the advert, I chatted the person up. It was leading to his WhatsApp DM. So I clicked through the ads and chatted him up. It was luckily for me, it was in Ibadan. I'm also in Ibadan. I was new to Ibadan then. I chatted him up and I was like, oh, I saw your adverts. These are like what I saw in the catalog. Immediately, the guy walked, basically, at that instance, the guy walked me through his entire car. Showed me the different things they were having: 24 inches TV, 32 inches TV, 64, whatsoever. And it was basically telling me the advantage of one above one, telling me that this can actually do this depending on where I want to fit in it. Is it just a self-contained I'm living in? Is it a 3 bedroom? Is it a 4 bedroom? Is it a 5 bedroom? You wanted the details so you can know a better recommendation to give. Even went ahead to even offer to give me payment on delivery. Went ahead to ensure that he educates me on the advantage of each, or there are different smart TV with each brand, LG, Hisense, this and that. He was basically educating me. Now, what was he trying to do? He was basically getting me to know me, like him, and trust him. That was basically a strategy. I'm not asking you to use that strategy. That's just for in the traditional form of it now. I will still go deeper into all of this, so please just pay attention. But I just want you to understand that for everything you probably bought, most of the time it's not even always about the pricing, but it's about the KLT factor. Once people get to know you, once they can like you, and once they can trust you that I can pay 5,000 naira to Adepoju and Adepoju would not scam me of my money. If I can pay 10,000 naira to Chiamaka and Chiamaka would not scam me of my money, even if he or she is running a payment in pay before delivery, I'm rest assured that even I've not seen Chiamaka before, but I can give Chiamaka 100,000 naira and I'm sure that the laptop that she promised that she's selling, she will get it over to me. That's because a lot of things were had gone into place. So those are like things that you have to do. Now, the only thing that Meta does for you is the know. Meta gets people to know you. Meta, by Meta, and I mean Facebook and Instagram. I believe you all know that the parent company for Facebook and Instagram is Meta. So please, when you're hearing Meta, just think of Facebook, Instagram. So before people can eventually now buy into your products, they need the LT. But what Meta does for you is get people to know you. That means they show your advert to as much as people as possible, as much as 10,000 to, depending on your budget. They can even show it to as much as 1 million person in a day, depending on your budget you are showing. But how to get people to like you and trust you is your own responsibility. That is why if you want to make sales, you have to tick the L and T factor. So please pay attention as I move on. So ads on its own is not just about selling immediately. I've seen a lot of persons, they will tell you they just want to sell instantly. There are a lot of things that goes into play. You don't just go with the mindset to sell. Number one, calm down and listen to your audience, listen to your environment, listen to what people are even trying to say. Don't be so desperate to sell. That's number one thing. Don't be so desperate. Desperation would make you lose out on a big time. Number two thing is never be in a hurry to sell. Calm down and listen. And number two is never be in a hurry to sell. I've won different contracts before, and I can tell you for a fact that it works. It works a whole lot of times. I'm running an advert, and me calming down automatically help me know the problem that that person initially is looking for, and me being the solution to that person. So once I've calmed down, once I'm not in a hurry to sell, I now understand that marketing is not just about instant sales, but me actually being a solution to people's problem. Except if your product or your services does not meet a need, then your ad will not even work. That's even number one thing. I think that's one thing I should have mentioned from the start. Except if your product or your service does not meet a need, then you might even have a problem from the get-go. Except your product is crap, except nobody needs your product, then you might ads will not even work for you. So first off is understand that your product or your service is a need, is a solution to someone's problem, and they are desperately in need of it, and they need you to show it to them that your product is a solution to that particular problem that they need. And don't be in a hurry. Understand that marketing is not an instances. Now, marketing is about selling today and consistently selling. That is it for you. Once you understand that, I can tell you, when I started my digital marketing career, people that I've been working with then are still part of those that I'm still working up until now. What changed, or was the reason for all of that? It's just because of what has gone into it. I'm very, very particular about not just selling now, but building a relationship, getting them to know me, to like me, to trust me. And that's actually what has kept me in business up until now. And that is what I want you to pay very close attention to. So now, the number one thing is, how do you now come up with a creative strategy before you run an advert? That's where I'm taking you into now. The number one thing you should know that it begins with an idea. You have an idea first. It's an idea that you now translate into action before you run an ad. Never ever run an ad without a strategy in mind. That's basically where I'm taking you to. Never ever run an ad without a strategy in mind. Now, the number one thing is idea. I use a practical example here. I'm selling kuli kuli. In case you don't know what kuli kuli is, think of it as anything you can think of. This is just a practical example to drive home my point. And this is something that I've done for a business before, and I know it works. So just know that I'm giving you a practical and a relatable example. Now, what's your idea? What's your goal? What's your vision? This idea actually points out to a business owner that sells kuli kuli. She wanted to be making 100,000 in sales daily. That was her goal. That was her vision. You have to be realistic too. What do you want to achieve? You don't grow from primary one to GSS two. You have to grow through the ranks. So know where you are, know where you want to head to, and begin to grow, scale up from there. So what she needed was, she wanted to be making 100,000 naira in sales on a daily basis. She knows that if she's able to make 100,000, then she'll be able to make 20,000 in profit, basically from analysis. That means she'll be making a 20,000 naira profit on a daily basis. And so you now need to analyze it. If one pack of kuli kuli would sell for 2,005, that was based on that she was selling one for 25. So basically, she needs to sell 40 pack for her to make 100,000. Marketing or having a business deal with mathematics, you need to know your math, you need to know your numbers, you need to know what exactly would help you achieve what. You don't just go into the market and say, any sales I'm able to make, I make. Have a particular number in mind that you are working towards, and draft out your plan to help you achieve that particular idea. So she knows that if she's able to sell one pack of kuli kuli for 25, then that means she needs 40 pack. She needs to be selling 40 pack on a daily basis for her to make that 100,000 naira that she desire. Now, to sell 40 pack, the first idea is, will she have to focus on just selling 40 pack to 40 different customers daily? That was one. Understand your business. That was the one part. The second part was the fact that she can go for a bundle strategy. And what's a bundle strategy? That means she can sell a 5 pack for 12,000 naira. That means instead of just advertising one pack, she can actually go with a bundle strategy, selling 5 pack for 12,000 naira. Remember, I told you, have an idea before running an ad. That's basically where we are heading to. That's a strategy on its own. So by this, if she's going with a bundle strategy, she will only need 8 customers on a daily basis to help her reach her target. So be realistic. First thing idea is, will she go with 40 pack to sell 40 daily, or go with the bundle strategy and make sure she's selling to each customer for her to reach her 100,000 naira daily? Now, the third thing is she could go with a distributor or an investor strategy. That means she needs to sell 40 packs to a single buyer. Please make sure you're following. If you have questions, begin to note them down. Drop them in the comments. When I'm done with this session, I will take them. She sell 40 packs to a single buyer. That means just when she sell 40 packs to a single buyer at a discounted price of 90,000, that means she only needs a single buyer. If she wants to make 100,000 in a day, then she has to sell it to that person at a discounted price of 90,000. Know what you want to do first. Begin with an idea. Break down your ideas into what would help you achieve your strategy, your goal, your vision. How much do you actually initially want to make? Now, once you know what you want to achieve, then you now go into the lead generation. Lead generation basically just means getting people that will be interested in what you are trying to sell to come to you, begin to ask you questions or make inquiries about your product or your service. That's when lead generation can now come in. Now, you understand that if 1 in 20 persons are visiting this page, then it needs 160 visitors daily to be able to sell 8 bundles. You have to be strategic. You need to know your numbers. That's basically what I'm walking you through. Now, how do you get the 18 visitors? That is when you now begin to run targeted adverts to generate traffic. I will still be breaking this down for us as we move on, but understand it all begins with an idea. You have an idea in your mind first. You are not just going into the market and saying, come and buy my kuli kuli. You understand that my kuli kuli is either I go with the single sales strategy. That means I sell to 40 people in a day to make my 100,000, or I go with the bundle. That means I'm trying to sell 5 packs to one person. A pack of five will go to one. So I only need just 8 customers in a day to hit my 100,000 naira. Or I go with a distributor. That means if I can have just one distributor daily, the person pays 90,000 and I've made my money already for the 40 pack. That means on daily basis, I'm selling for a distributor. I will still explain all of this and begin to break it down for you before you now begin to run your advert. Now, going to the lead generation. If 1 in 20 people are visiting your page, then you would need 160 visitors daily. So how do you now get those 50 visitors? How do you get them? You run your advert, and that's where I'll be taking you to later on into the theoretical, into the practical. Another idea also is, I've given you one idea. This is another idea also. These are things I've implemented. I'm just trying to show you. I can basically give you millions of strategies at the top of my head. It's all about just thinking it through. You are the owner of your business. You know your products or your services better than I am, than myself rather. So this is an idea too. This is for a real estate property seller, and he knows that he wants to generate 10 million in revenue monthly. That's because he's selling real estate. He wants to be making 10 million in revenue monthly. How will he achieve that? He knows that if he's able to sell a single unit sale, he's the one that understands his property. He told me that a unit sale of his property costs 5 million. That means he only needs to sell 2 properties in a month for him to make his 10 million in revenue as he wants. So all he needs to go on for is two HNIs. Don't worry, don't let me go into the details now. But basically, he knows that he just needs 2 persons in a month to buy into his property, and he has made his 10 million in revenue, basically. So he organizes free property viewing days where people that are interested in his property, they can tour his premium listings. It's a free viewing days. There are specific days that he actually gets people. Now he uses a sense of exclusivity. That means the only people that are invited to come and view those properties on those viewing days are high potential leads. We have low potential, we have high potentials. We won't get to that. But I'm beginning to open your mindset to something. Your idea is what would help you know who exactly you are trying to target. That is where we are still going into. So please just pay attention. Now, if in-person viewing is not even possible, you can even use VR technology whereby they can just, without people needing to come physically, they can actually have an online property tours. That was basically what I eventually implemented for him, whereby people can now come without necessarily leaving their office. That's even because these are busy people. They don't have the time to leave wherever they are working just to come and inspect or view properties that are available. So basically, being able to give them a property tour was one of the strategies that will be adopted. Now, how would he now make it possible? Because now you already know this idea he wants to work with, but now how would he get people to come and view or go on the tour of his property? That's where using lead magnets now comes in. So he now came up with a strategy. We come up with a strategy for him to have a lead magnet. I'm trying to break down complex terminologies to you guys. A lead magnet is just something you give to someone in exchange to get their contact details. Now, I'm trying to just make sure I'm being simplified as possible because I know not everyone is technically, not everyone has been running that before now. So, or you might not be so knowledgeable on digital marketing terminology. So, a lead magnet is just something you give to somebody in exchange for their phone number, their name, their email address, with the intention of reaching back to them to now eventually market your product to them and sell to them. So one of the lead market he worked for was we created for him was a documentary of how Otedola actually invested 50 million in the real estate and made 500 million within the space of a 6 month period. It was a documentary that showed how Otedola was able to achieve that. Now, obviously, people that wants to buy a property, obviously they had the investment mentality. They want to buy a 50 million property or real estate property and know that that 50 million within the shortest span of time can bring them a very, very high ROI, return on investment. So those are like things they want. Once you know your idea, you know what you're trying to target. So basically that was what we did. Now, part of what we also did was to use ads to target people in diaspora. People in diaspora basically means Nigerians that are abroad. So in the case whereby they want to invest in their properties back home, this would work for them. Some of them are looking for ways to buy properties because they're already working, they are getting at least some small money. They want to begin to invest in their homeland, but they need to at least have a trustworthy real estate company. So our target was to now target diaspora's audience looking to invest in property back. Now the ad spend weekly was a 50,000 budget, spending 50,000 weekly, and we were attracting 200 quality leads on a monthly basis. Part of what we did was to send automated emails showcasing the properties benefits and the payment plan and the testimonials, and we followed up with calls and run retargeting adverts to help us achieve that intention of at least making this 10 million on a monthly basis. That was just the idea. Now, idea one and idea two will make you understand is what will take us into understanding your audience. That's the second part. Your idea is what will bet your audience. That means you are now running ads with a focus. You know who you are trying to target. If I was the number one idea, I'm trying to sell kuli kuli. If I'm going with the bundle strategy, then I know that I would be going with people that are interested in buying in wholesale, or people that are interested in, yeah, people that are trying to buy in wholesale so they can sell on a retail basis. That gives me an idea of who are my audience. If I'm a real estate company, I'm trying to sell to Nigerians in diaspora. I understand what they need, what they are looking out for. I understand that Nigerians in diaspora that might want to invest in real estate is looking for probably an investment homeland now, that he can build an home for himself and knows that the money is coming back to him. He's putting 50 million, and at the end of probably 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, he has made times three of what he has placed into that. That's basically how you now begin to. So once you understand your idea now bets your potential customer. We call something a buyer persona. The buyer persona is now what gives you an idea of who are your potential customer, your age range, the age range of those that would need your product, what's their agenda, what's even their level of education, where are they located, what's their common pain point. That's what are like the things they are going through. You need to understand this. You see the applications of this when we get into the practicality of running ads. If you don't know this, or once you miss this out, your ad will be a complete flop. That's why you see someone spending 50,000, 100,000 on ads and nothing is coming through for them. That's because they've wasted enough of time. So all of these things needs to be captured, their personal attributes. Then we will now move into the third part. The third part is now where you present your offer. Now the offer is basically what you had in mind from the start, from the get-go. What was the thing that you wanted from stage one? You are not selling everything now, but basically you have something in mind that you're trying to sell. Remember, if I was trying to target the HNIs now, I would basically be more specific with making them understand that I'm basically showcasing the documentary of how Otedla was able to invest. That's basically my target. And I understand that if I'm using that already, they are obvious it's something they need. They want to know how exactly was Otedla able to invest that. And so in return, they would want to give me their details. I capture their details and I give them a return, that documentary. Also, how to make 100,000 naira monthly. That was another idea that that particular person used. That's for the wholesalers now. Wholesalers that were, I mean, Yeah, wholesalers selling to wholesalers that will be retailers later on. How can you actually make 100,000 monthly for yourself? That was another practicality idea that was being sold out, and people that were interested in making money for themselves opted on that, and that was because they saw it as an avenue to make money for themselves because they didn't even know. So it breaks down the process. How much can they invest into it? What can they do? How can they even begin to sell what all of those things? So those were like things that went into it. So basically, it is your offer that will determine your campaign objective. Your offer will bet your creative and your art copy, and your target audience will determine where your art should appear. Basically, that is basically the order that is followed. You don't just run ads, but you run ads with a purpose, with a focus, with an offer in mind. You know what you're trying to take to the market, and your budget now comes into play. Basically, Meta suggests that you spend $1,001 daily. $1,001 daily. As I yesterday when I exchanged was 1,750. That's 1,750 naira. That's the current exchange rate. So basically, that's like you the least amount you can spend on a daily basis is 2,000 naira approximately. So ensure that you are tracking your ad from the start of your campaign, and if your ad is now getting the very best results, when you start running your campaign, you spend 2,000, you spend 4,000, and your 4,000 has already bought you like 10,000, 11, 20,000. Then you can now begin to increase your ad budget. You can increase it to like 5,000, 10,000. As you increase, obviously you know that your profit margin also increases. So what do you actually need to now achieve this? Make sure you have these two softwares, Meta Business Suite and Meta Ads Manager. You can search for them on your Google Play Store if you are using an Android phone. Search for those two. Those are like two basic things. Basically, they help you to track your advert. When your advert is now running, you want to know how much has my 1,000 naira spent brought for me. You need to keep on tracking to know what is working. Don't spend your entire ad budget before you realize that you've spent or wasted your money. So those are like things you have to put in place. So now the third part is now where you now build more of trust. You need to get people to trust you, to trust you, to trust you before they can eventually buy. So how do you build trust? You need more and more organic posts. Do have a social media page without any post. The only thing you are doing is running adverts. You will not get to convert. That's because people need to part of what build gets people to trust you is they want to see what are like the organic posts. What have you been posting before now on your social media timeline? What do you have? Even if you're a new business that is just running your business for the you're just starting out, what I usually advise is before I run adverts for any business or organization, I make sure that they at least have a 1 month content calendar. That means they've actually created months. So let's assume someone meets me today, they are just starting out their business. I'll tell them that for the entire December, make sure you're posting consistently on your social media. Then January, we'll start running the advert. And that's because once you start running the advert, people want to come back into your page and see what are like the things you have. What have you been writing before? What are people even saying about your brand? What are like the testimonials? Are people even buying into your product? What kind of content should they expect from you? Where's your business located? They need details about you first before they part with their monies and all of those things. Also, secondly, is have a business account number. Don't be trading business with your name. I should not ask for Adepoju Astro, please send me your business account so I can buy something from you and you're giving me your personal account. Well, at the initial stage, you might start from there, but as you grow, make sure you grow into a level whereby you now have your business account number. Those are like things that build confidence in your brand. Also, make sure you are responding to comments and questions in a professional manner. People want to know that you know what you're saying. So when they're asking you a question, they basically want to know, are you like a solution to their problem that they've been looking for before now? So be sure to ensure you give the very best response as it's been demanded from you. Make sure your pages are well optimized. Don't leave out all of this. Work your customer journey to ascertain your user experience. This is one thing I'm always emphasizing. Don't just run adverts. Go through the process yourself. Before someone can buy something from me, what do they need to click on? When they click on this, where does it take them to? How rigorous or how simplified is the process? If the process is not simplified, it's easier for you to lose your customer. That's basically how it works. Now, you guys can realize that part of what I did or when running this particular or this paid class, you guys filled the form online. Having filled the form online, you were sent a mail. Everything I set everything up automatically. Even the mail that went out today, everything was scheduled in advance. That's basically what you do. Don't do your business haphazardly, or don't have structures in place. Make sure that you are going through your customer structure. If you have a website, make sure that when people come to your website, they know what to do next, they know what to go to next. Your website is not so complicated that they even know where to go. They don't come on WhatsApp and they can't even get an archive or a catalog of your product or everything that has to do with you. You have to pay attention to all of these things. So walk through your journey. And like I said, I'll be giving some person some gifts before moving to the theoretical into the practicality of this. So who will win my gift? Well, I would love to tell you what are my gifts actually before we move on. Please make sure you follow through and pay attention. After this, we are going into the practical where I now show you how to run adverts now. Make sure you understand the theoretical part before we go into the ads. Ask questions too. After this part, I'll be taking questions before we now go into practical. I'll give just like 5 to 10 minutes for questions. So if there are no questions, I just move on straight up. So what is my gift that I'll be giving? Number one thing, I'll be granting you access to my 8 week intensive training. Like I mentioned, I usually teach digital marketing, and it runs for 8 weeks. That's where you have practical knowledge into all of this. I have some of my students in this class already, some that have paid for these sessions already. I have them in this class already. So they might not be needing this. They've already been granted access, waiting for class to start. Also, I will guide you through the implementation of what I've taught you in today's class and what I'll still be teaching you. Because I can't touch on all business. God's treasure business might be different from Adepoju's business, might be different from Chizum, Chidima's business. Everybody has their different businesses that they are doing. I can't specifically mention. So part of what I'll be guiding this ones through also is how to implement it into their business, how to implement exactly this training into their business, how to implement it into their business. The third thing is I'll be giving you access also to all of my automations. I have different automations. I have over 10,000 contacts on my socials, especially on WhatsApp. How do I respond to everybody that is asking me questions? That's because I've set up automations for anybody asking for this. Someone asking for, even someone that wants to pay for my service and asking for my account number. I don't need to be online before a response comes to that. I've set up all of those automation for my WhatsApp, for my Instagram, for my LinkedIn, for every of my social media. And this exact automation tool, I'll be giving it out for free to these guys also. That's the third thing I'll be gifting. The fourth thing is I'll also be guiding them through the setting up. It's not just about giving them the automation. How can they set it up for their businesses? Because now you're a business owner. You have to focus on other things and make sure that even when you begin to run adverts, how was I able to send out my mails to people that registered for this class? It was through automations, which are already set up, which I'll be guiding you through also. So setting it up is another part, having the tools is another part, which I'll be taking you through. And also they will be taught on how to build a professional website for their business from the scratch. You'll be taught, just in case you don't have a business website yet, you'll be taught. I'll show you exactly how to build your website for yourself right from the scratch. This is a part of what you'll be learning from the digital marketing training that we'll be having, which runs for 8 weeks. I will show you exactly how to build a website for yourself. You'll be building your own website for your business, and you'll know how to manage it, how to track others that might be coming in for you. And also, I'll teach you how to set up ads. You set up the ads and you're tracking the ads. It's not just about setting up ads. You have to know how to even track those ads. 31 people coming into your advert. You even need to know where exactly are those coming in. How can you capture them? How can you retarget them? Especially in the case whereby I believe you've seen different adverts before that. Probably you visit Jumia website today. For the whole of today, you might just be seeing an ad from Jumia. That's basically because they've set up what we call meta pixel. Once anybody visits their socials or their website or anything, they can retarget them. I'll show you how to do that also for yourself so that you are targeting people that are interested in your business, your brand, and all of that. Those are part of what those are part of what you will be getting. Yeah, I would also the video will be available. I would give more information on that later. So all of these are worth 250,000. Remember, I was even mentioning 100,000, but no, it is way worth over that. Remember, probably I go over it again. First thing is the 8 weeks training. You'll be getting an 8 weeks training on digital marketing. You'll be learning everything into digital marketing. After now, we are still going to practical, so I'll still fulfill all of my promise. I just have to walk you through those that will be getting my gift and what exactly I'll be gifting them. in case you miss it. Number one, 8 weeks extensive training. I will also guide them through the implementation, especially because they are business owners. You have to implement this into a particular business. So I need to know what business you are into, you are doing exactly. Is your business the strategy for Doing's business will be entirely different from Amaka's business, from Chioma's business, except if they are selling the same thing. So guiding you through how to implement it into your business such that you are running advert and you are making the very bread from your advert. You're not just wasting money. You'll be getting access to my automation tools also. And your automation tools are very, very necessary, especially your business owners. A lot of inquiries are coming in on a daily basis. As I am here in class, my business is still running. People that might need anything from me automatically are getting it because I've set up automations in place for everything, major things, especially except when it now gets to level whereby they need to probably book a meeting with me or a call session with me, then that one cannot be automated. I have to reply down and schedule a timing that works for me based on my calendar. So that's another part. So, but basically, as a business owner, you must be able to set up all of this. So these are things I'll be giving out. Also, you'll be learning. I'll be showing you how to build a website for yourself. You'll be building your by your hand. You'll use it to build your website. Part of what I'll be training you through the 8 week intensive training, setting up a meta pixel for yourself. All of these are worth over 200K. Well, let me just ask you guys, how much do you think all of these things I've mentioned? Give a words to it. Let me just mention it that way before I proceed. Just give a word to it, just 1 minute, please, before we move on. How much do you think everything I've even listed so far is worth? Please, let's stay true. We still have the practical sessions after now. I'm waiting for your comments and I'm waiting for questions too. After now, I'll take questions before we go to practical. How much do you think all of this is worth? Let me just go into that. According to me, according to you, we might actually have different perceptions of value. So, how much do you think all of this is worth? I'm waiting for feedback before I move on. Feedback, feedback, feedback. I'm waiting now. I've not seen comments. How much do you think all of this is worth to you before I move on? Is it my network? I just want to show that you guys are following, and I'm waiting for questions also. Are people still on the call? I'm not getting feedback. I need to be sure we are still together. I'm not getting the responses. Yeah, for person asking, yeah, the video will be available. I don't have yeah, Adesokwame said it does not have a price for this is in Z. I'm waiting for that. I just want to be sure you guys are following and you're still with me so that when we get into practicals, you guys are not lost. You will me give Kemi say that's a good gift. Thank you. Okay. Chisom said the price I placed on it is okay. Okay, I will just think you guys are trying to be smart actually. Oh, that's just it. But actually, like I mentioned, I'm just giving this for the first 10 persons only. Everything I've listed is what you'll be getting, but you are only getting it at just 35,250, and you can make your payment. I'm only giving it for just 10 persons. I'm not taking more than 10. Please, after now, we are going to the practical sessions. But in the case where I won't be, you might not be seeing this slide again. You might take a screenshot, but I'm only giving it just for 10 persons, just for 10. After the 10 slots are filled up, I won't be taking it up again. Everything is worth way over 250,000. You can basically go and check how much does our courses actually cost. Our training course on its own is just 150,000 for the 8 weeks, but I'm giving you guys for just 35,250. The account number is written on your screen. Please, only 10 persons. After the 10 slots are filled up, I won't be taking more. Anybody that the number 11th person that pays, I would have to do a refund back to the person. So please, before moving to practicals, make sure you get it very. In case you cannot see the screen well, if you send me the word PAY in my DM, you would automatically get the account number and everything you need to pay. I have my automation set up already. You can even see how the automation works itself. Once you send the keyword PAY to my DM, automatically you will get all the details, the account number sent to you, every details that you need to get to make payment, you get. Please, After the first 10 persons pay, I won't be taking more than 10. And that's because I want to focus maximally on these ones. If you are my student, for my students that are on this complete, you're not paying anything again. You're already my students. We are just waiting for December to come. So it's only for those that are yet to be student, and this is just a discount offer to you guys. So at this point, I would just love to take question. If you want the account number to be sent to you, just send me the word PAY in my DM. Your account number will be automatically sent to you. My automation has that sorted already. So I would love to take questions before we're now going to the practical. Based on everything I've taught you in the theoretical part, please ask your questions. Is there any parts that you feel like you were lost or you did not really grab, bro? I would love for you to ask your question before I now go into the practical part, where I now show you how to implement this into your art manager. In running the art itself, not everybody knows how to run art. And how can you specifically translate your strategy into running the art? That is where we are going into. So please, just for the first 10 persons, please, after the 10 has paid, I can't take more than 10, please. I just have to emphasize that, so it doesn't look like I'm promising what I can't give. Please, just for 10 persons. So I would love to take questions now. Questions based on all I've said so far. Yeah, thank you. Stop agent said it's worth it. I know myself, it's way worth more than that. Our trading actually for 150,000, but we are not giving at that price. Yeah, thank you, Doing Solar. Doing Solar is part of my students for next cohort that's starting in December. So you are not paying, please. It's just for a new person. So please, like I mentioned, if you cannot see the account number on your screen, you can just send me the word PAY. My automations will do the necessary things for you. You get all the information you need from there. So we're going straight into practicals. I'm waiting for questions from all I've said so far. Questions and feedback, basically. The price is worth it and even more. Thank you so much, Gideon Adegboyega. Thank you. Please, I'm only giving slots for 10 persons, please. I'm waiting for questions now before I now go into the practical. Questions, guys. Question, guys. Question. Oh, okay. I just got one payment. Please, if you are the one that made the payment, please make sure you send the word PAY. You get all the details that you need to do so that everything is just automated. I don't have to respond and you are already added to the class group straight off from there. Yeah, for Chisholm that is asking, it will be a virtual platform, just like we're having it on YouTube now. To be on YouTube, we do a combination of YouTube and Google Meet. So it will be a combination of Google Meet and YouTube, but it will be entirely a facilitator, just like I'm teaching you now. I have to take you through the practicalities of this. Every business owner has, we all have different needs. Your product might be a service, your product might be a product. It might be you are trying to sell a product, you might be selling a service, maybe you're a designer, you're this or that. How can you market yourself or how can you run ads for that specific purpose? That is where I begin to now specifically address it. If you need my account number to be sent to you, please just type in the word PAY. Once you send it to my DM, my account number and every other details that you need to do will be sent to your DM so you know what to exactly do. Please, I've received one payment, but I can't get the names of that person. So please, if it was you, yeah, message that was asking, the video will be provided. This video will be provided after the class. Please, I'm waiting for a question before I go to the practical section. Please, feedbacks and question. Feedback. What new thing have you even picked from this session so far? I need to even know what new things have you learned so far. I need to just get feedback before I move into the practicals. I need to be sure you guys are even following. I Messi says tell us what you will collect. I've told you already. I can't even go below that price. I'm even just trying to help you guys. The ideal amount for Techie Bridge training is actually 150,000 for 2 months, which is for the 8 weeks. I'm giving you just for 10 persons at 35,250. It's not for everybody. If you know the value or if you know what you actually want, then you will get it. I'm only giving it just for 10 persons. Yeah, there's the privilege of paying in installments. Maybe I did not mention that. You can pay in installments, but basically you must balance off your payment before the third week of the training. We are starting in December. So basically you must balance off your payment, but you can pay in installments. You can pay 20,000 naira now, then balance up before the third week of our training, which will be in December. But it's left to you. I'm waiting for just feedback before I move on. I'm waiting for feedback. I want to be sure that you guys are really getting the best from this training. Feedbacks and questions. What have you learned so far? What new things have has your eyes been open to? What do you look at implementing when we get into the practicals? I'm waiting for feedback, guys. Feedback, please, before I move on. Please, if I had missed any question, someone should point me back to it. I want to be sure. So I'm waiting for feedback, guys. Feedback, feedback, feedback. Feedback and questions before I move into the practical of running the ad itself. Like I mentioned, it's not just about running ads, it's about knowing what you want to run ads for. So I'm waiting for questions, guys. Question before I move on. Question and feedback. So nobody has a feedback. Wow. Then I just assume that you guys never got anything from the training session so far. How do I go into practicals when I'm not sure you guys have gotten the very best? So I'm waiting for feedback, please. Feedback, feedback, questions, feedback and question, guys. I'm still waiting, though, even if it's just two persons before we move on. I won't move on without a feedback or question. Absence of question or absence of feedback basically means you guys did not learn anything. Then I just call off the session. I'm waiting for feedback from us before I move on. I'm still waiting. Feedback and questions, guys. And you guys cannot hear me. How does it feel like I'm the only person in this class? Please, guys, interactivity. I really love interaction. I love when people ask questions. I love when people give me feedback on what I've taught so far. I need to be sure. I'm still waiting. Please, okay. I've received two payments now. So there are just 8 slots left. I've received two payments now, so there are just 8 slots left. Okay, doing solar said I've learned methods help people know you exactly, then it's your duty for them to like you and trust you. Thank you so much. Doing that actually just summarizes everything. It's your duty, it's not Meta's duty. People making For me to be making good sales of my product is a function of the fact that I know that I need to get people that are interested in my product to like and trust me before they eventually get to buy from me. So thank you so much, doing it's only doing that learn something in this class. I'm still waiting for feedback. Oh. Please, okay, the first person that sent our details. Please, if you are the first person that sent in the payment, please make sure you send in your details. Just send in the word PAY to my DM. That's pay to get all the details that you need to send so I can follow up with you. Okay, then you also said I've learned that when it comes to mental health, the right targeting is very, very, very key. It's very, very key. You cannot be selling real estate and you are targeting students. Obviously, you're not ready to sell. Imagine you are trying to sell a property of 5 million naira and people you are trying to target are students. Then you just keep on wasting your ad budget. You spend 50,000, 100,000, and you make zero sales or one sales. That's basically it. Understanding. Thank you so much, doing. Yeah, the right targeting is very key. Very, very, very key. It's only doing solar that has learned something in this class. I'm still waiting for others, guys. Others before I move into the practical. Just one more person, then I move into the practicals. One more person, please. One more person, then I move into the practical session. I'm waiting for feedback, guys. Feedback. I need to be sure I'm not just teaching one person. I'm still waiting. It is KLT, Messi. Like, know, and trust. But it starts from know first. They have to know you first before they can like you. It's a chronological order. It starts from knowing first to liking, then trusting. People have to know you first before they like you. So it's not LKT, it is KLT. It's correct that, Messi. So people have to know you first. When they know you, they like you. When they now like you, then they get to trust you. That's basically the important part of it. Also, thank you, Messi and Chisom said, I've learned that tracking your ads right from the start of campaign is very, very necessary as it increases your budget when you start using money exactly. It helps you know when to even increase your budget. You know when your ad is really hitting its best, and you know when to turn it off or turn it on or retweak or check what is actually working. Those are like essential things. So thank you so much, guys. So now I'll be moving straight to the practical. Thank you, Doyin. Thank you, Messi, and thank you, Chiso. So straight to practicals. How do you run ads? Let me share my another part of my screen. And to share my browser tab now. Okay, please confirm you can see my screen. Please, can you confirm what you are seeing on the screen? Please, can we confirm what can we see on the screen? I just need to be sure you guys can still see my screen. Confirm what you can see on the screen, guys. Yeah, Diamond DBM. I'm just getting your responses also. And Bridget, yeah, thank you guys. Thank you guys. We are going straight into practicals now. And I just need to be sure you guys can see my screen. So please confirm what exactly are you seeing? I need to be sure you guys can see my full screen before I move on. This is my ads manager. How do you get into your ads manager? So basically, before you can run an advert, you need two things. You need to have an ads manager and you need a Facebook page. You cannot run an advert without a Facebook page. You are not using your profile to run adverts. You use pages. So that means if your business is Ajanle Coco Enterprise, that means Ajanle Coco Enterprise has to have a page. This is that page itself that you use to run your adverts. So basically, so let me just take it from the scratch for you guys. This is how an ad manager look like. So from your Facebook page, make sure you first thing first, make sure you're logged into your Facebook page. I might not walk you through how to set it up because I already have one set up. So from your Facebook page, just scroll down here. Then you see, click on see more by your left hand side. Make sure you're looking at your left hand side. You see something we call Ads Manager. So click on Ads Manager by your left hand side. Make sure you have a page and your business account in place. I would not go into all of those details deeper. Basically, my target is just showing you how to use the interface itself. There are a lot of videos you can check online on how to create a business account. So we don't have to waste too much of time. So let me just use one of my ads manager. Let me use a new ads manager that you guys can learn from. Okay, let me just use this one. It's a fresh account. I don't really spend so much on it. I just want to walk you through how to run ads. Running ads is very simple. Important thing is knowing your. I've not really spent so much. I've only spent 978,000 on this account, so I think I can use this for us. So this is how your ads looks like. So from here, click on Ads Manager, then click on Create. Now remember I told you once you know what you want to do, then you know exactly what your objective is. As you can see, there are different objectives here. First thing that Meta will ask you is what is your objective? What are your objectives? You need to have an objective in mind before you can run an advert. Can you see? So your objective is being bettered from your strategy. Once you know what strategy you are working with, then you know what you're working through. Awareness basically means you want to show people that will remember your advert. You just want to inform them about something. Let's say, for instance, you're trying to launch your business. You want people to be aware that your business is into the market. You want to make people aware of your brand. Basically, you want to reach as many people as possible. You go with an awareness campaign. We also have a traffic. Traffic now means you have a landing page in mind. You want to send people to a destination. Your destination could be your website. That means you want to send people to a website to probably now interact with something inside your website, or maybe it could be your website, it could even be your app. Maybe you have an application that you want to get people to visit, like Jumia now. Let's say Black Friday, I want to run Black Friday campaign for Jumia, and the Black Friday is happening on their on their mobile app. People have to visit their mobile app before they can buy anything. Then you have to go with that approach. Different approaches basically. We have, and also basically traffic means you have a destination in mind where you want people to land on either your website or your social medias. Then engagement means you want to get as much as many messages. Remember, different approaches requires different. You have to know what objective you are working for. It's your strategy that bets your objective. If you are lost out on your objective, then you've already missed out on this. So engagement basically means you want people to message you, send you a message. You want people to send you a message, basically messaging you so that they can make inquiries or something relating to that. Or these are like in a situation whereby you want people to come into your WhatsApp DM to buy a product from your services or make inquiries or consult you for a service, then this would work. Why leads campaign? Remember, I told you leads is basically you trying to run a campaign for people to give you their information. You've probably visited a website or you've seen an ad before that asks you for your information. Okay, an example of this is even you guys coming in for this free training. That's an example of your leads. Leads is you visit them, then you drop your details, your name, your phone number for whatever reason. That's a lead campaign. Then we have our promotion. Our promotion means I want people to download the application of my company, my brand, whatever. The app might be on Play Store, it might be on iStore, that's for iPhone store. You just want people to download it and begin to use it. So different approach. Why the sales one is probably you now have an e-commerce website. You want to take people to your website to come and buy something on your website. That means directly from your website they can buy. It can also be from your WhatsApp. Maybe you want to take people to your WhatsApp catalog. You must be using a WhatsApp business for this to work for you. You want to take people to your catalog to come and buy into any product or service that you're trying to sell. Then this is where it works. So I believe you can see the different purpose. If I was trying to sell kuli kuli to someone and different purpose, if I was going for the real estate, I would have gone for the leads so that people in exchange I give them that particular documentary and in exchange they eventually fill in the information and get to download my documentary guide that I've collated for them. If I was trying to send people to my WhatsApp, I'll go with traffic, or maybe my website, I'll just go with traffic. Different approaches comes with different purpose. So know what exactly you're working with. Okay, I've received the third payment. We have just 7 slots left. Please, after the 7 slots are taken, I won't take more persons again. So we have just 7 slots left, guys. I just have to mention that so it doesn't look okay. So let's just go with any. I will just assume that I'm going with the traffic. That means I'm sending people to your website too. So I will just go with that. So click on your objective, know your objective, then change it to manual traffic campaign. Manual traffic campaign basically means I know what I'm setting. I know those I want to target. I know who I'm exactly trying to run my campaign to. I know those are interested in my product. I know my strategy. I know what I'm doing. So go with manual traffic, click on it. Now it brings you to this page. This is it asks you for your campaign name. So let's just assume that I'm trying to sell. Let me just call it website traffic. Let me just give it a name. You can give it a name of your choice. Basically, the name is for you to be able to recognize what kind of campaign you're running. Categories, leave it blank. The only categories are if you are running a campaign for employment or for an housing estate, blah blah blah, or for an election. But if not, a normal business do not need all of those. So leave all of that. Leave every other thing the way they are. Leave every other thing. Then click on next by your bottom left, bottom right rather. You add set name. You can leave it as it is or you can change it. I will tell you what exactly that does. There are times I want to run campaign to different set of audience, a single campaign. Maybe I want to target business owners and I want to target freelancers. Then I'll probably just make this a let me just make this a business owner ad set. So this ad set is basically for business owner. That means I want to have an A and B test. A and B test means I want to run a single campaign and target two different set of audience. So I'll leave it as website. What is my performance goal? Change my performance goal to maximize numbers of landing page view. Please, that's essential. Difference between the two is that this one would maximize people clicking on your ad, while this one will maximize people landing on your website. So I'll go with this. Scroll down, leave every other thing the way they are. Now, this is where your budget comes. Remember, I told you you must know how much you want to spend on a daily basis. So let's assume that I want to spend 3,000 daily for this particular ad. Remember, you must have your strategy. Your strategy is what bets all of this. So, know how much you need to spend to achieve whatever results you are desiring. So, when do I want it to start? Let's assume I want it to start tomorrow and run. So you can. So it starts on November 22. It ends on. Let me put it to. Let's say if I want it to run for 1 month, or if I don't want it to run, stop. I can. You can always stop your ad anytime you want. So you don't necessarily have to put an end date. So let me just leave it out without putting an end date. I can decide to stop it after 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, even after one day. I can decide to stop it. So wherever you want. Now your location. Remember, you must know your audience. When you know those that you're trying to run your advert to, that's why I said your strategy is what bets who exactly. So switch this to original audience option. Use original audience, don't use advantage audience. Then specifically target those you are trying to run. So if I'm trying to target people in diaspora, I'll probably just search here under the ad demographic or wherever. And I can search for Nigerians in diaspora. I can search for business owners. So can you see these are like business owners or even those that when they travel by air, they go with the business class or whatsoever. Or you can target small business owner, I can target homeowners, I can target people that are business admins, I can target people that are business page owner. Basically, there are different things. Once you know your audience, you know who you are trying to search for. I can target only students. I can even target by location. Now, all of this is know your audience, basically. That's just that. I won't be going deeper into all of this. I can even target only freelancers. So if my audience are freelancers, I will just target the people that are interested in those that are freelancers. And that's it. Just pick that. But let's just assume I'm trying to target business owners. So I'll clear this off and target just business owners. So let's say my advert is specifically for business owners. So I'll just click on business owners, then I'll go with small business owners. So once you're done with that, you can move on. Change this also to manual placement. Now, this is basically now talking to where do you want your advert to be run to? Do I want my advert to only be sent to my Facebook? Or do I want it to also run on Facebook and Instagram? I can remove audience network and Instagram. I mean on and Messenger, and I leave only Facebook and Instagram. I can even only leave only Instagram and run it only to Instagram, and I can run it to only Facebook and check out Instagram. So wherever you want to run your campaign to, that's basically what you set for your campaign. But let me just leave Facebook and Instagram. That's the focus of tonight's class. So I'm running my ads to both platforms. Then click on next. It's very straightforward and very, very simple, actually. Now, this is where you select your page. Remember, I told you at the start, before you can run an advert, you need a page. So this is where I begin to set up my page. Select the page I want to run the advert to. I manage for different companies, so you might see different pages here. This is my own business page itself, which is TechieBay. These are like different companies I work for. This is even just for the same ads account. So there are different ones that you can see, but I will just leave it at that. Then since I'm going with Techie Bridge, so I'll just select Techie Bridge, select the exact Facebook page you want to run the advert to. Don't run advert to someone else's account or someone else's page. You will not make sales. Especially make sure you're using your page to run the advert. Then what kind of format or what's your ad copy? What kind of ad copy are you using? What do you want people to see? Is this just a flyer or is it a video or is it a carousel? Carousel is more like a swipeable images. So which of them are you going for? Let me just go with a single image. Then they will ask you your destination. That's where do you want people to land on? Is it your website? So put wherever you want people to land on you. So let's just say I want people to land on this. What am I missing here? Okay, then I'll put none here. I don't want people calling me. Then how do you now upload your creative? You set up your creative here. That means for an image advert, you set up your creative. What do you want people to see? Or how do you want to market to people? Obviously, when you're seeing an ad, you obviously see a picture or a video sometimes. So what exactly do you want them to see? Click on next. I don't need an extension set up. So blah blah blah. What am I trying to sell? Get my I don't want to waste much time on this. So whatever you're trying to sell to them, write your write up comes here basically. So then they give you some suggestion. You can go with them, but look exactly at what they have. Your headline is what you would see at the bottom part of the ad itself. So let me just put this here. I'm just putting unnecessary details just for you to see how it exactly looks like. Then you click on next. That's where you now click on your upload your images. So let me just assume that I'm going with this. I'm trying to rush through because of our time. We've actually so upload your picture or whatever. So let's just assume I'm going with this. Skip and continue. Then click on done. And I have my creative. You see exactly how they look like. Can you see? Tired of feeling lost in paper or getting started, blah 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 blah. You exactly see how it looks like at the bottom part. You see the website, you see your call to action button, then the link that what they have to click on to buy whatever you're trying to sell to them. See your website. Remember, I went for traffic, so I'm using the website. If I had gone for engagement, then I'll probably have used WhatsApp. So people come directly to my WhatsApp. So your objective is what will determine what you take people to. So once you're done, you can click on publish, and that's it. Your ads start running from there. It's as very simple as that. Basically, your strategy is now what bets on. Why are you trying to run your advert to? Excuse me. Now, there's one thing I missed out that can also help your advert, and that's because you don't want your advert to be run to people that would not convert, especially the broke people. How do you sieve out some people, irrelevant people from your audience? You can actually exclude some audience away from seeing your adverts, and you can exclude from this part. Can you see add exclusion? So exclude whatever details you want to add. Now I have all of this under this exclusion, but let me just go to this down part. Now I can exclude those that have visited my website in the last 30 days, blah blah blah. Anything I want to exclude out, or people that this is just because I've created a custom audience, or I've created, we call the, remember I told you meta pixel, knowing how to set that up, knowing how to create audience from another audience and all of that. So that's basically where all of that falls in. That's just that's for that's my time is far spent. I'm meant to have a meeting in the next few minutes. So let me just take questions at this point. So once you're done, just click on next. Setting it, you will have set up your page before now. So you are being debited from whatever payment options you are going with. Those ones are like very simple. I can guide you through if you ask questions when necessary. My DM is always open, so you can always come and ask questions. Oh, okay. I just saw you. I just received the payment. So we have just 6 slots left, guys. 4 persons have made payment, so we have just 6 slots left before we bring it class to your wrap. Oh, they are very tiny. You can't read. You should have placed your screen on. Put your screen on eye display. It's very simple and straightforward actually. But specifically, you must know exactly who you are running ads for, on what exactly you're trying to run your ad for. So yeah, it's quite long and interesting. But once you know it, you know it. It's something you can set up within 1 minute, 2 minutes. That's exactly what you know what you are doing. Thank you, Diamond. I'm just getting your responses now. Responding to comment professionally, very important. Making more organic posts. Include your address, phone number, phone contacts number for people that might exactly. All of those things are things that build up your trust level. People want to know exactly who you are, what's even your business location, what's your phone number, what are like important details from you about you before they decide to buy anything from you. So that's it for now, guys. Let me take question before I bring the meeting to a wrap. Guys, there are still 6 slots left, so there are still enough slots for you. There are still 6 slots left. Please, if you still need the account details, just type the word PAY to my DM. All the details you need will be automatically sent to you. I'm waiting for questions now. Please, feedback and questions before we bring the meeting to a wrap. I have a meeting for 8:45. So we have just 10 minutes for questions if there are any. So guys, ask your question. I would really love to take them. Feedbacks and questions, clarity. Please guys, I really love feedbacks. I would love to take them at this point. What did you get from these 2 sessions, the practical, the theoretical part? I would really love to know. Feedback, guys, before we call, bring the meeting to a wrap. By 8:40, if there are no questions, we'll bring the meeting to a wrap. There are still 6 slots left, so you still have enough time. You can pay in installments, like I earlier mentioned. There's a privilege of paying in installments. If you still need the account details, maybe I project that for you also. Either you type in the word PAY or you get it from the screen as shown. So I would love to take questions before I bring the meeting to a wrap. Questions, guys. It's very simple and straightforward. Very simple and straightforward. Questions, guys. Question before we bring the meeting to a wrap. There are still 6 slots left. Please make sure you follow the process for those that have made payments. Send the one PAY to my DM. So everything that you need to do will be automatically set up for you and you are taken to the class page automatically. I'm waiting for feedback and questions before I bring the meeting to a close. Questions, feedback, questions and feedback, guys. There are 10 people remaining on the call. I'm still waiting for you guys to talk. Once it's 8:40, I'll bring the meeting to a wrap if there are no questions. Bridget says network is not doing me well at all. I hope to catch up, no problem. The recording will be shared with you so you can go over that. Messi, I don't know what you get, what you meant. I'm just seeing your comment. You said, how can I learn all this? It's very possible. If you put your mind to it, it's very easy and straightforward. How are my students making success for themselves? It's a function of what they've learned. It's a function of what they've been able to put. Because you are learning it for the purpose of implementation, not to stack up knowledge, but to be better for yourself and your business. So you have the account number displayed on your screen. In the case, okay, one more person has paid. We have just 5 slots left. Please, after the 5 more slots are gone, I won't be taking any new person. Please. After the 5 slots are gone, I won't be taking any new person. I'm trying to wait for questions before I bring the meeting to a wrap. Just 1 more minute to go, and we bring the meeting to a wrap. 1 more minute to go. 1 more minute. Any question? The account number is still on your screen. If you need it to be sent to your DM, just send the word PAY in my DM, and it will be automatically sent to you. PAY automatically sent every details you need to get. In the absence of no question, I think I'll bring the meeting to a wrap. If someone else to type in, I need to be sure. Please, are there any question before I call it a night? Are there any questions? Do you need clarity? Were you lost? Sir, please, can you run the ads on my Facebook for me? If you teach from now to tomorrow, I will not understand how to do it. That's a function of your mindset, actually. Nobody collected your brain. It's a function of you knowing. It is what you believe in yourself that actually happens to you. What you believe is what happens, even if you believe that you can never make anything out for yourself. Trust me, nothing good can actually come out. It's not a cause. It's what you believe for yourself that actually works for you. If you believe something, it obviously would work for you, especially knowing where your source is, knowing what your source is actually. So please be mindful of what you actually say sometimes. There are power in your words. So please learn it for yourself and be good for yourself, especially know how you use your words. Always use your words rightly. Channel your words right. If you run the ads for my if you teach me to now to tomorrow, I will not understand. Trust me, you cannot understand except you change that mindset. Except you change that mindset. If that mindset is not reworked, you might not actually make anything good out of yourself. God created you for your purpose, and for you to maximize and live out that purpose, you have your role to play. You have to actually put in display that which He has placed in you. So, in the absence of no questions, I'm assuming there are no more questions. I'm just stylishly trying to wait for anyone trying to drop comments or question. 1 more minute, then I call it. I bring the class to wrap. There are still 5 slots left, guys. There are still 5 slots left. After the 5 slots are gone, I'm not taking any new more person. I just had to mention all of that. Question. Okay, so I assume there are no questions, guys. So I believe you get the very best from this training session. I would really love to hear from you. If probably you get to watch this video after and you have questions, my DM is always open. I believe you're on the group. So just chat up either of your admins. They will direct you right to me to answer any questions or if you need clarity on anything. There are still 5 slots left, so you can still make payments. There's the instrumental payment and there's the full payment. Whichever one works best for you, you're good to go. So guys, let's have a beautiful night rest. I love you all and bye.